Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Before we get started, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you would like. This is my third time attempting this video. The first time, I filmed the whole thing, and then when I got to the end, I reviewed it, and the camera was cutting it from here up off, so you could not see my face. The only thing you could see was my mouth. I thought, well, that's just not going to work for me. And then I just started filming it again. I have a stand-up mirror behind you guys, so that way I can make sure my face is in frame. And my cat decided she was going to knock the mirror over, knock the camera and the tripod onto me, so I had to start it all over again. So, let's get into this video. It is currently December 23rd. It is Christmas Eve. I'm pretty excited. Tomorrow my husband and I are going down to Bloomington. If you don't know, we live in Indiana. We live in the Corn State. And, you know, it's just wonderful this time of year. But we're going down a couple hours south of us. We're going to get a hotel. I already booked it, so I already have one. But we're going to stay there tomorrow night and come back here on Christmas. It's just kind of like a little getaway for us because, you know, we don't ever really get a lot of time together. And right now my daughter, she is with her dad. They're going down to 2 other states for Christmas. So she left yesterday, so she's not here, which I'm really, really bummed about. I miss her so much. But yes, that's pretty much what's happening the next couple days. I'm off work already, and then I only work Thursday and Friday, and then next week I'm off on New Year's Day, so I'll work a few hours on New Year's Eve, and then I'm off the next day. So, to get into this video finally, basically with how I've been doing, you know, the 1-year anniversary of our second Lost Together is tomorrow. A year ago today, I found out I was pregnant again after 2.5 years since our first miscarriage together. And if you're not new to my channel, you know that I've had 7 miscarriages total. 4 with my current husband. So, it's been a long journey. You know, emotions right now for me are kind of high. You know, we had the gender reveal party for my sister-in-law yesterday, which was really, really exciting. We found out she's having a boy, so we're all pretty excited about that. And then, you know, all these other announcements that are happening around the holidays, which it seems to be a big thing around Christmas and New Year's Eve and New Year's Day to announce that you're pregnant or engaged. So, you know, you struggle a little bit. My emotions have been kind of all over the place today and yesterday. I couldn't help but feel like a little sad because, you know, I can't wait until that's us. I can't wait until everybody's so excited to know what we're having, to have that big party and just do something really, really fun to find out the gender. I just can't wait. So it makes me a little bit sad that, you know, right now it's not us, but, you know, I really hope it is in the near future. You know, and dealing with the anniversary of our loss, it's just, you know, it's a lot to handle at once. And I struggle. I still struggle. You know, when you've been doing this for so long and been going through this for so long, you're going to struggle, and that's all right. It's okay to say you're sad. It's okay to say you're upset. It's okay to cry. You can still be happy for other people and still be a little bit upset for yourself. And you know, I know our time will come. I hope our time will come. I hope our time is now. I hope, you know, tomorrow is 6DPO, so hopefully between tomorrow and New Year's Eve, I will have implanted and I'll be pregnant. I have to stay optimistic about it because as soon as I am not optimistic about it, things just go downhill for me mentally. So I'm trying to stay like happy and, you know, keep myself busy and not think about it too much. But like, how do you not think about it too much when, you know, this has been an everyday struggle for you for 10 years and, you know, 4 years trying with my husband next month. It's a lot. So, you know, I'm struggling a little bit, but I'm alright. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna get through it. And all I can hope is that each and every month, you know, we get closer and closer to getting that baby that we want. You know, I have names picked out. We've had names picked out for a very long time. My sister-in-law, actually, they're naming their son what we had picked out, but we had two boy names that we wanted to use. And it just turns out that the second boy name that we had picked out, my husband actually likes better than the previous one that my sister-in-law is using. So it all works out. I don't want to say the names just because I feel like if I say the names, I'm going to jinx it. Or that somebody's going to take that name and I'm going to have to come up with a whole new name. But we have a boy and a girl name picked out. We've had the girl name picked out for, gosh, a very, very long time, at least 2 years. So I'm just really hoping, Callie, no. No. I have to keep her away from that mirror because she was like wanting to push it over. But I'm hoping we get to use these names in the near future. It just, you know, it's hard to deal with. You know, and I don't really have anybody that I can talk to about it because, you know, I just don't. You know, not many people understand what you're going through and not many people can relate. So I rely on YouTube and the people on my Instagram page to talk to you about this stuff because, you know, going through infertility is pretty isolating. It's pretty lonely. You know, I've had some friends that are going through that went through fertility issues and are going through it, but you know, it's not something we really talk about a whole lot. Like my friend that's pregnant now, you know, they had male factor infertility and they did 2 IUIs and she got pregnant. So it's, I don't know, I just don't talk about it. I don't really have family members that understand. Pretty much everybody in my family is fertile besides like me and my sister, me and my older sister, so it's just rough. And then, you know, me and my husband, we don't really talk about it a whole lot just because I just don't feel like he feels the same as I do about infertility. Or if he does, he deals with it in his own way, which I feel like it's healthier to deal with it as a couple and, you know, talk about these things and be open and honest about it, but that's just not the dynamic that we have right now. I don't know, I guess maybe I'm in my own head about it. Maybe I feel like I'm being annoying if I talk about it, or I'm being negative if I talk about it with him. I don't know. I think that's probably a conversation we're going to end up having to have at some point. Because he grieves in his own way, he copes in his own way, so he isn't really big on talking about emotions anyways, or talking about how he feels, so it's hard for me to do it with him. It's just, it's a silent struggle that I feel like many, many women go through. Just like a girl I know, we used to work with, was friends with, she just recently opened up about losing her baby. I don't know the details about it. I did not ask. I feel like unless they share it, it's kind of rude to ask a woman, how far along were you? Like, how did this happen? Blah, blah, blah. I feel like it's rude to do that. So unless they share it, I don't ask. So I just offered, you know, my condolences and, you know, told her how sorry I was, and if she ever wanted to talk, I was here. But that's where I left it, and it's so heartbreaking to see people I know struggling with this and having to be silent about it. You know, if that's their way of coping, that is 100% fine. Everybody copes and grieves differently, and whatever works for you is great, but I don't want people to feel like this is such a silent struggle. You know, I've over the past couple years, I have made it a point to talk about this subject all the time because, you know, people probably get tired of hearing about it. They probably think it's a pity party, like, oh, like, feel bad for me, and that's not it at all. You know, I just feel like in this day and age, fertility and pregnancy loss is such a huge thing that is now coming to light, and, you know, celebrities are now coming out and saying, you know, I had miscarriages, I lost a baby, I struggled for years to get pregnant, I had to use IVF, or I had to use a surrogate because I couldn't get pregnant. It's such a known thing now, but yet so many women still struggle with it silently. So that's where I'm at. I silently struggle, and then I publicly struggle, you know what I mean? Like, I don't share, like, the deepest, darkest parts of it. I don't share those raw emotions with everybody because I don't want somebody to pity me. I don't want somebody to feel bad for me. Like, I just don't. Because that's not the point in me doing these videos. That's not the point of my YouTube channel. That's not the point of my Instagram page. I just want people to know they're not alone. And, you know, it helps to have people to talk to about it. It helps to have people that are struggling along with you. It helps to not go through it alone, because when you're going through it alone, it can tear you up inside, and it's really, really hard. So right now, emotions are all over the place. I'm sad, but I'm happy. I'm optimistic, but I'm not. Like, it's a whole whirlwind of emotions right now. But I did want to briefly talk about, today I am 5 DPO. Tomorrow I will be 6 DPO. Christmas Day I will be 7 DPO. And then the day after Christmas is Magical Test Day. I will be 8 DPO, and I feel like by 8 DPO you can get a positive test. The pregnancy test that I bought off Amazon, the Preno, I read the reviews, and the reviews, some of them said that, you know, they got early detection as soon as 8 DPO. Let me go pull up some reviews right now. Let's see. I guess it's easier if I go to my orders and click on it. And, alright. So it's called Preno Healthcare Pregnancy Test. It's a 25 pack. I don't know if you can see that, but let's pull up some reviews. It got 4.2 stars out of 5, so I feel like that's really pretty good. This one says 0 false positives, great product, which I love. Yes, here's one. It says, these tests are awesome, especially for the price. I got a positive on these tests at 8 DPO. This one says they got positive 4 days before a missed period. Here's one that, you know, she wasn't pregnant, but she did say they give it very clear negatives, no false positives or indents, so that's pretty great. Let me see. They're very affordable too. I think I paid like $6 for 25 tests, so I think that's pretty good. Let's see. So this one says 8 days before their missed period, they got a faint positive. Got a negative on first response, and then 2 days later on first response, they got a big positive. So that's pretty great. So it seems like these are pretty good to use. And I think the lowest amount of HCG it registers is 25 MIUs. So like if I test 8 days before my period, let's go with Glow because Ovia does not accurately predict my next period. And it's really irritating because I've been using that the longest and it still is off on my period. So Glow says my next period is in 9 days. So if I tested tomorrow, I would be 8 days before my period because it says that I'm supposed to start my period on January 1st. And that's assuming, let me see, what cycle, I don't know what cycle day that would be. Let's see, I'm on 22 now. 31. That would be a 31-day cycle. I'm not sure how accurate that is because my cycles are all over the place. Glow says my next cycle isn't going to be till January 5th. And Thermometer says my next cycle is the 2nd of January. And usually my cycles line up better with Thermometer and Glow than they do with Ovia. I don't know. Ovia is just always really off on my cycles. And when they're off on my cycles, they're off on my ovulation, so it's kind of annoying. My cat is going crazy in the kitchen playing with a bag. She's in heat right now and it's really horrible. She's never been in heat before, so she's miserable. I know, I'm sorry. The kitty's crazy. So I'm not gonna lie. I probably will test tomorrow and I probably will test on Christmas Day just because I'm too impatient to wait. I just don't have it in me. So tomorrow at 6 DPO, I will probably test. But I won't do my live pregnancy test until the day after Christmas. And we'll see what happens. Probably going to be negative, but you know, miracles happen and we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, that's all I got.